It's the Rutgers Wrestling Preview Show right here inside Jersey Mike's Arena, presented by GGL. Hello everyone, Nick Costco alongside my broadcast partner Matt Howe. Matt, good to be back with you here ahead of the 2025-26 season for the Scarlet Knights. Another great year on tap here for Rutgers, and we always say it every year, but it seems like football season just flies by, and all of a sudden we're in the thick of things. It's the fall, winter's right around the corner. These guys back behind us, already warming up, getting a practice going. Wrestling season just about a week plus away already.
Wrestling season is the best part of the year, Nick. I can't wait to be back here with you at Jersey Mike's Arena. Another exciting season of Rutgers wrestling on deck.
A lot of things are going on ahead of the 25-26 campaign for Rutgers, but we'll look at last year real quick, Matt. Overall, a good season for the Scarlet Knights, finishing number 11 in the dual meet ranking, so borderline top 10 dual meet ranking. But as everyone knows, and as Coach Goodale has already told other members of the media, and I'm sure will tell us shortly, is that it's all about those 3 days in March. 3 blood round guys last year. 5 guys were in the running even for All-American status last year. So right there, and it just, it ends on a bit of a sour note for the Scarlet Knights after getting 2 All-Americans back in 2024. So it seems like there's a renewed fire, I would say, under the Scarlet Knights this year.
Yeah, it was a good dual meet season. They finished number 11, as you said, Nick, their highest ranking in about 10 seasons here. But yeah, in March, a little disappointing. Got 3 guys in the blood rounds. That's something I'm sure Coach Goodale is going to want to change this year. It's all about All-Americans at the end of the year and is getting as many guys into those blood rounds, those top 8 finishes as possible.
Thrilling dual wins over Illinois and Penn, for example, highlighted the dual meet schedule just last season. So when we look ahead to this year, Matt, we'll start with the lineup first, and you start with the stalwarts. Dylan Shawver comes to mind first. 133, All-American just 2 years ago in 2024. Again, he's one of those blood round guys last year after a great backside of the tournament in Philadelphia in 2025. But again, 6th year, final go-around here for Dylan Shawver. We'll see him in the All-Star Classic in about a week plus time. We'll get into that in a second. But Shawver, one of the leaders on this team. He's done so much great for this program, and maybe looking to go out with a bang here.
Yeah, Dylan Shawver is one of the most fun guys in the country to watch, in my opinion. He's got the quickest high crotch in the country, man, and he can compete with anyone. You saw last year, he lost 6-5 in that Illinois match to Lucas Bird. Lucas Bird went on to become the NCAA champion at 133. And he's got a rematch with him early in the season at the NWCA Classic, which we're going to get into. But Shawver's a guy who's going to have to lead this team, especially down low at 133.
Lenny Pinto, another one of those guys in the All-Star Classic as well. But, looking at 141, Joey Oliveira, another senior in this lineup. Again, battle-tested. We've seen him, almost like a roller coaster career. He's in and out of red shirt. Finally gets a full-time year to start. Blood round guy again. It seems like he's one of those guys for Rutgers that's made good strides every single season. Even if they're increment, they're very, very good. And he's right there on the doorstep of being a top 12, top 8 guy in the country.
Yeah, Joey Oliveira is a guy that's just on the brink of breaking through, getting that All-American status. He's just a tough wrestler. I love watching him wrestle. He competes. He's another guy. He can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the country. And he's right there this year. Last year to get it done. I know he's going to be wanting an All-American status by the end of the season.
149, Andy Clark. We were talking to him before the show started. Again, Collingswood native. Around your neck of the woods here, there in West Jersey. Again, another guy where, has gone through a lot of weights, 49, 65, 57, basically going all up and down the lineup. Finally found his calling at 149, for the most part, and he was fully healthy last year.
Yep.
Made a nice run at NCAA's, had some good matches, round of 16 guy, but he's another guy who's a veteran presence in that lineup. I'm sure he'll be pushed by other guys in the room, and some of the young bucks in the room, but another guy you can pretty much rely on, especially when it comes to the dual meet season.
Yeah, just another savvy veteran for Rutgers. 6th year, he's battle-tested, Big Ten tested. He competes as well. This is his year to really break through again. Last go for Andy Clark, and he's going to be a veteran leader on this team, and they're going to need him in the Big Ten duels.
When we look at the transfers that came in, I already alluded to Lenny Pinto coming in from Nebraska. He'll be in the All-Star Classic with Dylan Shawver. Again, Shawver taking on Lucas Bird, Lenny Pinto taking on Cornell's Simon Ruiz. But we'll start with Pinto first. This dude's a hammer. Absolutely. If you haven't watched college wrestling, go back and watch his Nebraska film. Lenny Pinto is a hammer. But again, you talk about the blood round guys. Coach Goodale already alluded to it earlier this morning. He was just like, hey, these guys want to get over the hump. He's one of those guys looking to get over the hump, coming from a loaded room in Lincoln. He reunites with Mikey Labriello, who's an assistant coach on Rutgers staff right now. But Pinto right there at 174, already ranked as one of the best guys in the country. Depending upon what you look at, already a top 4, top 5 guy.
Absolutely. At 174, 174. Rutgers is going to need him up top there. 3-time NCAA qualifier at Nebraska. Like you said, Nick, just a loaded room there. Racked up over 70 wins there in his career. He's going to be an impact guy right away. Number 8 seed in the NCAAs last year. Got to the blood round. 3 wins in the NCAA tournament. Just another guy that Rutgers adds that has that blood round status last year that just wasn't quite able to break through. This year, hopefully it's a different story for him.
Same goes for Hunter Kaka at heavyweight, coming in from Virginia Tech. And we were just talking about watching these guys warm up. He's one of the bigger heavyweights that Rutgers has had in quite some time. But again, blood round guy at Virginia Tech, comes in final year. Another guy looking to get over the hump. And we've seen success stories with the seniors, whether they have 1 or 2 years left for Rutgers and they come in and grad transfer, they become All-Americans. We've seen in the past. We've seen with Greg Bolzak at 197. We saw with Yaroslav Slavakovsky over the last 2 years where he was an All-American in 2024 and had a good run before an injury. Ultimately, just limited him a little bit at the NCAA tournament last year, but it just seems like the upper weights find their success story at Rutgers, and Kaka could be the latest. Yeah,
it's a good point, Nick. And he comes from a loaded Virginia Tech room. Also a 3-time NCAA qualifier, runner-up in the ACCs last year. He's going to guy that's going to fill in for Yara up top at 285. He's going to be an impact transfer right away, and he's going to be, we end all our matches here at Jersey Mike's Arena at 285. Coach Goodale likes starting at 125, ending at 285. Really good guy to have in your lineup to end the match.
Without a doubt. The other transfer, Remy Cotton, is coming in from Michigan State. He's at 197. I'm sure he'll be in a battle with PJ Casale, who was back on the roster this year as well. But Cotton, NCAA qualified for the Spartans last year, comes into Piscataway. He's got 3 years of eligibility, so a lot of room to grow in this program as well. So we'd be remiss if we didn't mention him. And of course, Patrick Adams down low, a veteran in the Big Ten at 125. As far as the freshmen are concerned, before we even get into the schedule right here, there's a lot of freshmen, a lot of redshirt freshmen, a lot of young guys looking to step up. I think we have to start in the middle a little bit. So we have guys like Andrew Barbosa, Ryan Ford, 165 guys, especially what we saw out of Barbosa last year. If you guys remember, NC State, dual meet in Tom's River just last season, got a win over a ranked opponent, top 20 guy even in Derek Fields. So Barbosa is one of those guys I'm really looking forward to seeing grow if he is sure to be the full-time starter at 165.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good things out of Barbosa last year. He's going to have to earn the spot again this year at 165, but I expect him to get a lot of work. Just take that next step forward. That's all we want to see, all Coach Goodale wants to see. Big Ten, hardest wrestling conference in the country. He's going to have some very tough matches this year. I can't wait to see how he progresses from his already successful season last year, Nick.
And at 184, Shane Cartagena-Walsh, again, he's almost like he's a veteran at this point, because he's now in the 3rd year in the program with Rutgers. But he made a great run at NCAAs last year, getting to the round of 16. It's like, oh my God, this kid might go all the way. And Coach Goodale alluded to it. This kid was a walk-on at some point, so it is a great story for Shane Cartagena-Walsh. But 184 fully his this year, and it just seems like with what he showed last year in development, going up in weight from his freshman year, he's ready to take the next step.
Yeah, we have all these guys. We just mentioned them knocking on the door of All-American status last year, and that's what's so exciting about this season. They have a lot of guys who had a great season last year, just came up a bit short. Cartagena-Walsh was one of them. He's going to take that next step forward. 184 is fully his this year. Can't wait for him as well, Nick.
And one more guy I wanted to mention before we get into the true freshman on this Rutgers team is Aiden Smith at 125. Got some good redshirt work at 125. Again, he'll be in a battle with Patrick Adams down low for the ultimate, varsity spot at a certain point. But Aiden Smith, athletic freak, a lot of accolades coming out of PA. Obviously, they're very excited about him, and he's surely a guy we're going to be. We can't wait to watch him this year.
Just a hyper-athletic 125. He's quick, he's nimble, he's agile. He's going to be fun to watch if he can get into that 125 spot. Really excited about Aiden Smith and what he can bring to the team down low, starting the match off with a good tone, Nick.
Some of the freshmen that are coming in, of course, Rutgers pulled in another great recruiting class. More to come as well in 26 and 27, as that continues to build. But the guys who are on campus right now, specifically down low, we look at, Devin Magro at 149, Tahir Parkins at 141. Those 2 guys could be future stalwarts of the lineup, if not, make an impact this year. They still have that redshirt rule right now where you get 5 dates. They haven't approved that 5-of-5 yet. So when you look at the 5-for-5, the redshirt 5 dates right there, they have a chance, to make an impact in some of these duels, make an impact in some of the tournaments as well. So those are 2 guys I'm looking forward to seeing. Obviously, Jordan Chapman, who's up at 174, state runner-up last year, coming out of Cranford. So when you look at this freshman class, a lot of exciting guys, and these guys are really talented too right off the bat.
Yeah, a lot of talent. Some Bishop McCourt guys in the lineup this year, or on the squad rather. But These are guys that we're going to see how Coach Goodale works them into dual meets, works them into tournaments, see if they can crack the lineup at any point in the season. A lot of talent, a lot of hope here on the banks for years to come with these guys.
Without a doubt. So we'll see how those battles unfold. Obviously, there's some weight changes. We learned that Anthony White, another veteran on this team, going down to 157, taking on Connor Harrow, borderline NCAA qualifier, 157 just last season. So he's another young guy looking to take the next step, as a lot of these guys are as well. So as far as the schedule is concerned, as we wrap up this first segment, the All-Star Classic's first, right? Okay, it's going to be right here in Jersey Mike's Arena. We mentioned Dylan Shulver and Lenny Pinto are going to compete in that to represent the Scarlet Knights. This is a great event. It's a great event every year. I know it's an exhibition, but these are high-profile matches, and the fact that it's going to be right here in Rutgers' home arena, right here in Jersey, putting on for a raucous crowd, it seems like.
Yep.
This is a great event to start the season.
It's awesome. You get Dylan Shulver versus Lucas Bird, the reigning NCAA champ. Lenny Pinto versus Ruiz, who he lost to twice last year, gets a chance to, get that win on him in his third match against him. Second time in program history, Rutgers has two guys competing in the NWCA Classic. Anthony Ashnall and Richie Lewis were the first. This year we get Dylan Shulver and Lenny Pinto. It's going to be a great environment here. Jersey always brings the heat. Great arena, great fans. It's going to be a special event, Nick.
When we look at the Big Ten slate, of course, the regulars are on there. Penn State on the road, but right here at home, you got Michigan, you got Minnesota, obviously Purdue's coming in as well. Princeton, a big rivalry match as far as the non-conference is concerned. That match is coming back here to Jersey Mike's Arena this year. We'll be on the call for a good amount of out-of-conference, of course. Oklahoma comes in as well. So, as Coach Goodale always does, he wants to load up this schedule because he's like, hey, we want the top, we want the best competition for duels. We want to be a great duel team, but we want to test ourselves ahead of March. We want to get ready for those 3 days in March, and it seems like this schedule is going to do it to them each and every weekend they're competing.
It's every year, Nick. It's the Big Ten. It's the best wrestling conference in the country. It's awesome that Rutgers has a chance to compete in all these high-level dual meets, and like you said, it's all about getting ramped up to March, into the Big Ten tournament, into the NCAAs, and they're going to be battle tested throughout the year here with those opponents. It only makes you better for the postseason.
So enough talking from us. That's going to do it for our first segment. We're going to talk to head coach Scott Goodale and eventually some of the wrestlers as we move on here for the Rutgers Wrestling Preview Show presented by GGL.
When you have been in an accident, the insurance companies will try to put you through the ringer and minimize your claim. But you don't have to fight them alone. You need the right attorneys to stand in your corner. GGL wins.
Welcome back to the Rutgers Wrestling Preview Show presented by GGL. I'm Nick Costco alongside Matt Howe. With us now is head coach Scott Goodale. Coach, good to talk to you again. As always, we're looking at, we do this every year. It's like, all right, recap last year, get into the nitty-gritty of the upcoming season. You pretty much said it all when it came to talking to the other members of the media before as we were previewing this season. It's like, hey, it's all about March this year, and we'll get to that. But when you look at this squad this year, it seems like the mix of veterans, the transfers, the young bucks in here, especially the freshman class coming in, this mix is one of the more talented mixes, and maybe, as you said before, a lot of leadership in this room this year.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a little bit of everything. Like you said, senior leadership, transfer portal guys that are seniors, a lot of youth, an exciting recruiting class over the last couple years that will now have an opportunity to wrestle with the block R on their chest. Credible leadership, which has been the biggest surprise because they're from different guys, new guys that have come from really successful programs. So that's exciting. But we look forward to the season. We always do this time of year. It's fun. We're getting ready to wrestle somebody different, which is always exciting. It's been a great preseason. A lot of surprises in what you'll see over the next couple weeks here when we get into our indicator matches. Is there's a lot of depth and guys that our fans and even some of our staff may have penciled in as starters, they will be challenged. So there'll be some important matches coming up in the future. I'm not a big wrestle-off guy, but we will have to see these matches going forward because there's a lot of talent in the room.
Coach, the unofficial start to the folk style season, the NWCA All-Star Classic, going to take place right here at Jersey Mike's Arena. Talk about what it's going to be like to have that event there, and especially having two Rutgers guys compete in it, in Dylan Shawver and Lenny Pinto. First time since Anthony Ashnall and Richie Lewis, Rutgers has had two guys in the event.
Yeah, that was out in Cleveland, 2017. That was a great event. As a little kid, I always used to go to this event. I remember it was at the Palestra one year. I would go down and watch that. So this has always been an event I've wanted to have at Jersey Mike's Arena. I've wanted to have on this campus. I just think just this atmosphere could be great. We're fortunate. We obviously have a Rutgers flair with Shawver and Pinto. There's a New Jersey flair with a lot of Jersey guys from other institutions coming back to compete. There's a Lehigh flair, which is good. So we're hoping our fans show up and show out, and we could do it in front of 8,000 people inside Jersey Mike's Arena. But this is always one I've wanted to have. We've been fortunate. We get the New Jersey Team States now is in this building. We've had Final X in this building. We've had some incredible matches, 1 versus 2s in this building, some great dual meets inside this building. Now we get to add the All-Star Classic. So it's something I've always wanted to do. I'm grateful for they gave us this opportunity. It should be a great night.
And speaking of those dual meets, you try to go out of your way to really load up the schedule every year. I know you're at the mercy of the Big Ten where you're going, who's coming here, but obviously every day in the Big Ten is a challenge. We all know that, but you got schools like Oklahoma on the schedule this year coming to Jersey Mike's Arena. You're going to different places. I believe you're going to Carolina
NC State,
again, NC State again. So when you look at the schedule and trying to build that, I know you're a big dual meet guy, as we've always mentioned it, but is it almost about we need to get battle tested pretty much every weekend now at this point to get ready for March?
I don't know. Selfishly, I just love this sport. So for me, like yesterday, we inked a deal with Oklahoma State. We'll do a home and away with them starting next year because I want to go. I want to go to Stillwater, right, and everything they got going on. NC State. We did the home and away with Virginia Tech, was awesome. NC State, we'll go there this year. Just a great program, and then obviously bringing in Oklahoma, which will eventually go back there, obviously with the Oklahoma State trip. So I love the sport. I love those matchups. I love the competition of it. I don't know battle tests. I know we're going to get battle tested come January and February because of our 8 in-conference duels, and then you add in-state rivals Princeton and Rider. It then makes for a really, really good schedule. We tried really hard to get Lehigh. They wanted it. We wanted it. We had a date, and it just fell on the same time as the national duel. So obviously they were invited, so can't make that work. But something in the future we'll certainly look to get back on our schedule. But love the dual meet schedule. I just think it's important just to wrestle the big schools, wrestle the really competitive schools, and just have competitive dual meets.
Coach, last year, obviously, it was a great dual meet season, finished number 11 in the Coaches Bowl at the end of the season, but came up a little short in March with some of your guys, a couple blood round guys there. 2 transfers in now, Pinto and Katka, who are also blood round guys. Talk about what that last year's experience means for this year and what you expect for your guys in March.
Yeah, it's kind of a 2-part question. That it was a really successful dual meet season, and the reality is nobody cares. Right? No, I cared. I loved it. I love having matches that are important and top 10 matchups and top 10 wins. So, but it all comes down to March, and that's how we're remembered. And the way we were training during the spring, the preseason, the summer months is catered to what these guys fell short of doing. And Shawver's a blood round guy. Oliveri's a blood round guy. It's no secret. It was a bad half hour Friday night at the national tournament in Philly. And then you bring 2 guys in that have both fallen short. Pinto, twice a blood round guy, and Katka, a blood round guy. So there's a lot of room there. We have to get better. We have to pass that round, and that's going to be what we're judged on. That's the expectation. That's kind of where this program is at. There is a process that will take place through the course of the year. I will get pumped up for dual meets. I will sell dual meets. I will try to pack this arena for dual meets. It's the one thing a wrestling fan can relate to is an incredible dual meet, so we'll continue to do it. But I know at the end of the day, it's going to be about March, and that's going to be our focus from a health standpoint, the peaks and flows of the season, the ups and downs, and what we need to do to get our guys ready for March. But certainly, I know you talk to those guys, it's obviously on the back of their minds where they need to get better and get back to that podium. For someone like Dylan Shawver, we've got to be on top of that podium. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
It's interesting you mentioned that process, and you've had examples in the past where whether it's guys like Anthony Ashaw, Nick Suriano taking the next step, becoming national champions, or recent transfers like Greg Bolzak and Yara, they're making the next step to becoming All-Americans, where they either come, they're homegrown guys, or they transfer in and become All-Americans under your guys' leadership. Is there something about that process that still works to this day that you might have to modify a little bit? What's that process like looking to get these guys over the hump?
That's a great question. I don't think there's much secret to it, right? It's an incredible amount of hard work, but there's also a lot of dialogue. So there's like Hunter Kacker's different than a freshman. He's been through this. Pinto has been through this. They both come from extremely successful programs. So what can we do a little bit differently? But that's dialogue on their end. That's dialogue on their end. For Yara, there was a lot of dialogue. He didn't do everything that we did. So what got him to the point where he felt the best come March? And those are some of the conversations we'll have with Joey Oliveri, with Dylan Shawver, with an Andy Clark, with a Tony White. And then the freshmen, let's see where they're at, kind of, so to speak. We got some very talented freshmen that feel like they should place at that tournament. So that's a process. That's a step they have to take. We can't wait until our junior and senior years. It's like we got to do it right now. You see how wrestling is now. These young guys are special. So do it right now. So again, it's a lot of dialogue with a lot of different guys, but it's communication and what these guys need that they maybe didn't have, and the same for guys like Remy Cotton and Pat Adams. What didn't they have? What can we give them that can maybe get them over the hump, so to speak? So a lot of communication, a lot of dialogue. Let's figure this out and be our best come March.
Coach, talk about some of the freshmen on the team. Who do you expect to stand out this year? Who's looked really good in the room, and how do you expect to use them this season?
Yeah, we're going to have these indicator matches, so that'll go a long way. I can tell you, if you talk to some of these guys that are just got on campus a month ago, they believe they're the guy and they want to wrestle right now. They're also incredible team guys. They also want to see Rutgers be great long down the road. So what is best for Rutgers wrestling? They're on board with that. But man, I think off the top, we've had 5 come in this year, 5 true freshmen. This doesn't include the red shirts that were here last year, but guys like Chapman, Tyre Parkins, Devin Magro, Easton Doster, Billy Townsend, true freshmen that have been here. And then you think about the class before that, the Barbosas and Smiths and Ninis of the world that are ready to be in that lineup. Ryan Ford, who's ready to be in that lineup. So think about all that, man. There's so much talent now, and on any given night, whoever gets the call will be ready to wrestle. We will absolutely, those guys will get 5 important dates to compete because they're that good. So we'll need them all year long and see where it takes us.
What's it like having freshmen like that? Because it seems like it's progressed every single season of your tenure, where it's like this freshman needs a year or two, and then it becomes this freshman only needs a year. Now it's like they can go right away, we're going to hold off. Now it might be like, hey, they're going to go right away. I'm a big Jordan Chapman guy, having a couple of his matches. There's a lot of guys like that they're fun, they're exciting, they have a lot of raw talent too, and like they're almost ready to go right now. What do you see from this freshman class that's like, is it just re-energize the room a little bit with the veterans?
It's again a great question. These guys, even going back the last couple years, Connor's class and now Chappie's class, these guys can win at a national level. So they've done it all through high school. We believe they can come in here and win at a Big Ten national level. So that's exciting. It's like we've done all the groundwork, we've done all the preseason, we've done all the individual workouts, we've talked match tactics, and it still never ends. You still got to continue to get better, but every now and then you just got to let them go and see where they're at. And they're super exciting to watch. They love to compete. And that's probably the biggest thing. They love wrestling. It's a huge thing. This preseason's meant very little to them because they've wrestled all year round, so it's nothing new. But you're right, it gets better and better each year. I think high school wrestling gets better and better each year. These young guys can come in and win national tournaments right now. So we feel like we've recruited at that level, but we also have some pretty good guys at those weight classes. So I think about Tyre and Joey Oliveri right off the bat. Like, we have a really good guy there who again has a chip on his shoulder based on last year, with a freshman getting ready right behind him, pushing him. So it's always a good problem to have.
Coach, talk about recruiting a little bit. Obviously, you guys always are able to get very good classes in here filled with Jersey talent, PA talent, and you're branching out too, even a couple California kids, stuff like that. Talk about your recruiting process and what that says about the program.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the guys we brought in the last couple of years, guys that can win at a national level. That's who we've recruited. It doesn't always have to be in our home state. We understand it's a great home state, but we're having success in Pennsylvania. Coach Middich, being from the Lehigh Valley, has been huge. Labriola's a Lehigh Valley guy, so Pennsylvania has become really, really important the last 3 years, and we've done well. And now, of course, California, seems like we get one every single year.
Yep.
So we're going national now. We have to compete in this conference. And I know that probably ruffles some feathers in this state where they think it's just New Jersey. And it's always been that. I think every year it's been 75 to 85% have been a Jersey kid, and now there's maybe 45%. So a little bit different philosophy the last couple years, and I just think we got to find guys that can win at the national level. At a high school level, of course, they're able to win in and out, whether it's Super 32, Fargo, these journeyman tournaments, all this stuff is important. They're having success there. Those are the guys we need in this program.
Since the preseason is almost over, All-Star Classic, again, right here in Jersey Mike's Arena, just around the corner, about a week and a half away. Because Shawver and Pinto are competing in that, what changes about their approach to practice and the team's approach to practice where, these are high-profile matches again, potential national finals for all we know. So when you look at matchups like that, followed by a quad the next day, when you guys are hosting 3 matches the very next day after those 2 guys have really hard matches to start the season, what's the preparation look like over the next week?
Yeah, I don't think for those 2 in particular it changed. They have gone along because we are competing the very next day. I don't know if those guys will. Maybe they'll get 1 match in there based on their weight. We'll see. But the approach, the preseason is the preseason, and these guys want to do everything the team's doing. So that was very big to Lenny Pinto. I want to do what the team's doing to prepare for this. So the only difference is you're getting one of the best kids in the country November 1st, where some of our guys maybe get to feel their way into it. Those guys, defending national champion Lucas Bird, Simon Ruiz, who's 2-0 against Lenny. So they are foot to the fire right away. They're going to be ready November 1st. But we're getting ready for November 2nd, and we're certainly getting ready for November 8th in the Naval Academy. So our training schedule, they've stuck to it, stuck to the plan. Unless there's an injury or is a little bit banged up or just need a day, we'll monitor that. But again, that's a lot of coach-athlete dialogue. That's been really good. They've been awesome all preseason.
Coach, take us behind the scenes a little bit in the wrestling room. What is the philosophy this season? Is there a single message you're harping on, or is it just business as usual for you guys as the program you are?
We've had this thing we kind of yell at our guys to close it out. Close out the practice, close out cleaning your locker, close out putting your dirty laundry in the laundry bin, close out putting your tray back when we're eating team lunch, close it out. Close out matches. Figure it out. Close it out. We lost at the end of last year a couple major contests at the end of a match, late. Maybe not riding a guy when we should be riding a guy. Maybe not protecting our legs when we have to protect our legs. So is that a mantra? No, but every single day, everything we do, you close it out to the best of your ability. So that's kind of been we got to figure out how to close out these matches and win on Friday night. And that's without jumping ahead to March and understanding there's a process, there's no doubt that the message to our team and our individuals and our guys is just close it out. Put your face in there, protect your legs. Nobody scores on you late. Figure out a way to score and finish a match and close out a match. And that's kind of been our mantra.
I'll leave you here with this one, Coach. Always great stuff with you, but now that it's wrestling season, golf season pretty much ends for you. So the people need an update on the golf game here going into the season. Now that it's the winter time.
These guys at Pine Barrens, they're smart. They drag me. I'm in a Final Four Pine Barrens Cup, so they drag me to Deepwater. They drag me to November before they play me, and it's not right. We should have played this match. This Final Four should have been done in early September. Here we are now. I'm locked in on this, and I got to go this Sunday and play a Pine Barrens Cup match. It's not right. It's not fair. But hey, I'll figure out a way to get through 18 holes and close it out and try to win this tournament. That's where I'm at. That's the truth. That's the truth.
We're certainly going to get it done. Head Coach Scott Goodale with us here on the Rutgers Wrestling Preview Show presented by GGO. Coach, thank you very much as always.
You got it, man.
Welcome back to the Rutgers Wrestling Preview Show presented by GGL. Nick Costco alongside Dylan Shawver and Hunter Katka. Boys, good to talk to you. Dylan, I'll start with you, man. This is your last go around here. Your entire career right here at Rutgers, trying to get back on the podium, if not beyond. What's this whole process been like for you since, dating back to March, the whole summer, preseason, now with the All-Star Classic right around the corner?
Well, thanks for having me on the show. It's a pleasure. But this whole summer I competed. Last summer I didn't really go out and compete freestyle, so that's just a huge step right there. And then, I'm having one of my best preseasons yet, and that's leading right into the All-Star match, right? And I really want that one. That one means a lot to me, so I'm gonna put it all out on the line. And there's no pressure. It's all about having fun, and that's what I'm gonna do.
It's good to hear. Hunter, same question goes for you. Obviously, you transferred in here this year after a great career at Virginia Tech, but what's really stood out to you about your whole process this summer and obviously the preseason and getting acclimated to these guys as well?
Yeah, no, again, like Dylan said, thanks for having me. It's just obviously an honor to be here. I transferred in, got here, beginning of the summer to New Brunswick, and I haven't left. Just like the environment here, I love it. It's addicting. It's an addicting culture to be around guys that work hard and want to be, the best. They want to be the best, and you got coaches who are just willing to put day in and day out of effort into all of us. So it's been super smooth, just coming in, training. I'm obviously coming from a little injury last year, so just getting back. It's been really smooth. I mean, the smoothest it's been, transitioning back into wrestling. So feel really good. I mean, obviously, we're working out right now, I'm sweating a little bit, but yeah, it's been really, really good. Awesome
to hear. Dylan, back over to you. When you mentioned that All-Star Classic, you want that match back. Very tight match with Lucas Bird just last season right here inside this building. He's the defending national champion, so he got all the accolades last year. What's it mean to you to have that match and to get him right off the bat here in just about a week and a half?
For one, it's a huge opportunity. I'm looking forward to it, as I said before. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm ready. I'm hyped. It's, like I said, it's a huge opportunity. And to knock them off, a lot of confidence going into the season.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Hunter, for you, when you talk about making that transition, and it's addicting here. This environment's very addicting for you. When you put that into, I guess, full context, for you to try to get over the hump, maybe to get onto the podium this year and perhaps beyond, especially in a heavyweight weight class where there's a lot of depth in the Big Ten. What's it like for you to have those goals out in front of you, to be in this room, to be like, okay, yeah, this is the place where I can succeed to end my career here?
Yeah, no, definitely, great question. I mean, we attack those goals every day. I write them down every morning. So, I mean, they're always in front of me. Something my coaches are working with, just a mental aspect. Physically, I know I'm capable to be top 5. I write that on my paper every day. I'm going to be there, you know what I mean? Like that confidence, from the Lord, from my training. I'm just super grateful to have these coaches who kind of instill that into my head every day, daily. And that's something you can't really take for granted. You come in every day and you work hard, but seeing these goals in front of you, writing them down, making them real. I know, if I keep staying healthy and do the right things, I'm going to be on the podium 100%.
I'll leave you both here with the same question, Rob. What really stands out about this team compared to maybe last year or years past? Dylan, you obviously have seen a lot through your 6 years here at Rutgers, and then Hunter, same question to you. When we look at this team this year, what really stands out? What can make this team special and different here in 25-26?
Yeah, I've been here for a while now, 6 years, and I've seen a lot. But it's just the culture from my freshman year till now. Everyone, especially the new transfers like Kaka, Pinto, Remy, they made an impact right away, and we're grateful for that. Look up to those dudes as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the new guy here. Me and the transfers were new, but just coming in, seeing the guys and how they interact with each other, I love it. And I think I can't speak to how they were, but since I've been here, everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to work hard, and we're doing it together. So yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to be the mindset we have right now is, we're going to work harder than anybody else. And at the end of the day, that's going to get us. That's going to get us as far as we want. You know what I mean? Like I said, the mental aspect, we all have it. So I mean, let's just go take it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you boys taking the time today to get back to practice. Dylan Shawver, Hunter Kaka with me on the Rutgers Wrestling Preview Show presented by GGL. Welcome back to the Rutgers Wrestling Preview Show presented by GGL. Nick Costco alongside my broadcast partner Matt House. Special guest time now. John Van Brill, 3-time NCAA qualifier, Rutgers alum, of course. John, good to talk to you again, man. Good to see you back inside this building. Just first off, what's it like being back in here watching these guys scrap a little bit?
Yeah, man. Good to see you too. Good to be back in the building as well. Love being back here. Feels like home, obviously. Good to see Goody and Pollard still getting after and doing what they do. Couple of faces that I knew as well. So got to say what's up to some of the guys. Good to see them getting a good sweat workout in. Don't miss it too much. I like hanging out on the couch now in my free time. But it's really cool being back in here and seeing everybody doing what they do. It's awesome.
John, you were here when me and Nick were in school. We covered you here. Talk about that team, what it meant to you then, and seeing what the team is now, how you guys laid that groundwork.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. I mean, obviously, our team did a lot during that time, but obviously that was built on the backs of the work that Goody and Pollard did, developing us all from the ground up, and they're still doing that. Obviously, Pollard doing that with the lightweight guys and getting them Big Ten titles, All-American status. Goody doing the same thing with the guys he's bringing in some more coaches, local guys like Kyle Kiss, keeping the roots of New Jersey in here, he's bringing in some of those Triumph guys like Chapman and stuff like that, and then you got Middich tapping into the PA landscape and all that. So looking at all that and seeing how they're doing and evolving the program, and it's really cool to see. Obviously, it's awesome to have been a part of some of the groundwork. I'm a season ticket holder now, so obviously I enjoy seeing all the matches that happen here in the wintertime.
What's it like from that perspective where, you had a lot of magical moments in here, a lot of magical moments, elsewhere when it comes to tournaments, away dual meets, but you come back into this building, you were a part of something with, a lot of legendary teammates, then you look at what they're able to build now here inside this building. They have the APC now as far as their training facility is concerned. They're bringing in all these recruits, as you just mentioned, where it seems like the talent's elevating pretty much every single season. Right. When you look back at your time and compare it to now, you're just, what does that mean to you? Like, hey, I was a part of this, trying to get this thing really, really rolling.
Yeah, dude, it definitely means a lot. It's super cool to have been a part of it and to see, obviously when I'm at the matches now, to have played a part in bringing some of those fans in. It's definitely super cool, but even more cool to see some of the youth wrestlers from New Jersey staying here, doing the same things that we did, and kind of hopefully they drew inspiration from us staying home and creating some big moments here at the rack, and then that's led to a lot of New Jersey guys staying here and wanting to do the same thing. So, yeah, that's been really cool.
John, talk about this season's team. What do you think? What do you think they're going to accomplish? Who stands out to you?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the transfers wrestle with Pinto and Kaka. They did a really good job in the portal this year. Really looking forward to seeing Joey Oliveri again. He had a great run last year. All those lightweight guys I'm super excited about, and then them developing those new guys on the upper weights as well. So yeah, it's kind of the front side of the lineup and the top side of the lineup is what I'm really excited about. Nothing to take away from those middleweight guys, love them, but that's where the most exciting wrestling happens, obviously. But yeah, just especially excited for the bottom of the lineup and the top of the lineup.
What's it mean to you? Because you already mentioned, some of the Triumph guys. You mentioned Chapman. You've coached some of these guys, through the club ranks or the off season, especially the ones that end up coming here anyway. What's it mean to you to see some of the guys that you helped shape when they were middle school, throughout high school, and all of a sudden they're in the same place you were just a handful of years ago?
Yeah, for sure. It just means that that Rutgers and New Jersey is a prominent place and landscape to get a lot of really good wrestling and training done. Obviously, there's a lot of different high-level programs out there across the country, and when you grow up in high school and you think about the college landscape, naturally you kind of want to go away for school, or you maybe want to get away from home a little bit, but staying home and staying in New Jersey and being able to train here just really provided me, especially with the best environment that I possibly could have had training. I just don't think I would have had that same type of home feel, being able to get home for Thanksgiving in an hour, right, or Christmas or anything like that. And it obviously I can get the All-American level training, right, an hour away from home. So it's really meant that, and then hopefully inspiring them, to stay and do the same thing, and hopefully they can see the value in staying home and representing the state and representing our hometown.
John, talk about life after wrestling for you. How involved are you still with the sport? Obviously, walking away from collegiate wrestling, it's got to be tough, but obviously every wrestler stays in somehow or another. Just like me or Nick get to do this now. Yeah. What are you up to?
Yeah, for sure. I get to do a bunch of things with wrestling still, so a huge part of my life. I started taking over the wrestling club that I grew up going to. I have a bunch of other coaches with me there. Matt Kareni, who's an alumni from Rutgers, Zach Firestone. He's helping me with the young guys as well. They're doing a lot of really great work helping those young guys develop into some state placers, hopefully some Division I wrestlers. I get to wrestle as well. I still compete a little bit, and there's some different pro organizations that are trying to make names for themselves, so I'm doing my part and trying to participate in those competitions and put my foot on the line and compete for them. And then being able to do stuff like this, get back, being a season ticket holder, watch some of the matches, still get to talk recruiting with Goodale, and kind of still have all the connections with the coaches that I had kind of growing through the sport, and stay connected with them through the high school guys and the youth.
Well, John, it's good to see you, my man. I hope you enjoyed the season as much as we will. You know, this does not happen without guys like you and your teammates.
I appreciate
just
that.
A handful of years ago. So good to talk to you again, my man.
I appreciate that. Hey, this doesn't happen without guys like you either. So I really appreciate your guys' work. Thank you very much.
John Van Bro this year on the Rutgers Wrestling Preview Show, presented by GGL. Welcome back to the Rutgers Wrestling Preview Show, presented by GGL. Nick Costco alongside Matt Howe. Matt, I mean, I say this every year, but when we do something like this, we see these guys for the first time during preseason practice. I'm fired up. I mean, I need the season to come here right now.
It's been awesome talking to all the guys today. Coach Goodale, John Van Brill, watching practice in the background here, seeing them run stairs here in Jersey Mike's Arena. Wrestling season's here, Nick. It's the most exciting time of the year.
I'll tell you one thing, I don't miss running stairs. I was just talking to a couple of other guys the other day about our high school wrestling days. I was just like, I don't miss stairs. What these guys are doing, I don't miss running the hallways at all. So these guys are, you're talking about competition coming up in what, a week and a half now for Shawver and Pinto, the All-Star Classic, and then a quad meet the following day. These guys are still hitting it hard right now, getting down the weight, making sure they're all good to go. So summer's over, preseason's about over. It's that time of year where it's like it's time to turn on the, put your foot on the gas pedal here.
Absolutely, and we kick things off with the NWCA Classic here at the Jersey Mike's Arena. We get two awesome matchups for two of the Rutgers' best wrestlers this year, Lenny Pinto and Dylan Shawver. They're going to be tested early. Coach Goodale said usually those guys don't get a test like that till later in the season when we hit the Big Ten schedule. We're going to see Shawver and Pinto right away, see what they have against two really tough opponents in front of a home crowd. Who can beat it, Nick?
Without a doubt. Considering they're essentially national title previews potentially.
Yep.
That's how good these guys are. All top 8 guys in the country. As far as the schedule is concerned, we'll have plenty of coverage on Big Ten Plus this year throughout the home schedule for Rutgers here in 25-26. We have the usual suspects. Princeton's coming in this year again, so we'd love to have that rivalry match. A lot of good Big Ten matchups. When we look at this schedule again, we try to do our best to give the best to the fans who are watching at home, so they can get just as fired up as we are. So I think it's safe to say that we are pretty darn fired up for this squad this year.
Yeah, the Big Ten schedule is always a gauntlet. We're going to see Illinois again this year after a really great win here at Jersey Mike's Arena last year. I'm sure they'll be looking for revenge, of course. They're a very good squad as always. Big Ten schedule is a gauntlet. Then you add Oklahoma to that.
Yeah.
Princeton, Rider. It's a gauntlet, Nick. It always is, but it's what gets these guys set up for success in March. And this year, more than ever, those guys need to break through, as Coach Goodale was talking about. Came up a little short last year in the postseason, but this year, those guys are right on the hump, and they're ready to go for it.
When you look at the energy these guys are bringing, of course, we've seen a couple years where they have multiple All-Americans, national champs, as we saw back in Pittsburgh back in 2019. There are years where you had 2 and 3 All-Americans just back, in 2021.
Right.
Then you have the couple of years where we've seen a couple times over the last 3 years where, 2023 and 2025, you come up a little bit short. It's as Coach Goodale has said multiple times, we had a bad half hour. That seems to be what the only thing that went wrong last year, essentially. You have your missteps, but that was the only thing that really went wrong last year. But the sense I get from these guys, talking to them this year, they're fired up, they're ready to go. You never know what's going to happen between now and March, but it just seems like this team is ready to get back over that hump and maybe even then some.
Yeah, Coach Goodale talked about it too. You're only remembered for what you do in March, right? That bad half hour last year cost Rutgers 3 All-Americans, right? They had 3 guys who were in the blood rounds last year. 2 guys transferred in the blood rounds. That could be 5 All-Americans. Has to break their way. They have to get it done on the mat. But it's a really exciting time to be a Rutgers wrestling fan with the talent in this room, the transfers they have in, the young guys and the veterans, all combined into one. It's going to be a fun season.
Without a doubt, a big thanks to our R-Vision and Big Ten Plus crew behind the scenes, and we're looking forward to working with them all season long. Big shout out to Brad for helping us get this set up. To my broadcast partner, Matt Howe, I am Nick Costco saying so long. This has been the Rutgers Wrestling Preview Show presented by GGL. We're looking forward to seeing you guys this season.